And we're back, folks, right here on WWE Network and Chill, where I, Graham Jason Matthews, break down all the content that I watch on the WWE Network. Today we're talking Legends with JBL, the episode with Stan Hansen that aired originally last Tuesday, February 7th, 2017. And a pretty good show. I think Legends with JBL does not get the credit it deserves. Here on Network and Chill, over the past month, I've talked about WWE 24. I've talked about all these other different shows, Table for Three, all the other original shows, Holy Foley on the network. Legends with JBL I have yet to talk about, but I wanted to discuss it here today for a few reasons. I was going to discuss it regardless, but apparently the show is ending. They filmed a whole bunch of episodes last year during WrestleMania weekend with The Click, with Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. They had one with Booker T a while ago, a two-parter, which was great. Sting, which was also awesome from a few months ago. They had a Lunder Blaze on not too long ago, which was really, really good. This episode, Stan Hansen, not quite as decorated or newsworthy. It's still a good show, and I implore you to check out Legends with JBL, all the past episodes. We had a two-parter about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, with Eric Bischoff, which was great. So I wanted to talk about the Stan Hansen episode here today. So the reason I bring this up again, as I mentioned, the show is apparently coming to an end this week, tomorrow, on Valentine's Day. How fitting with Jimmy Hart, of all people, WWE Hall of Famer. So hopefully they make more in the future, because I think this is the best, most effective use of JBL in this role. The guy's fucking great. He does his research. He's a great interviewer. So anyway, Stan Hansen, the episode that aired last week. I mean, again, not a lot to report on if you're a fan of the old school wrestling days, and you'll probably like this episode more than most. And I'm not really a fan of the old school wrestling style, but I did watch the episode to kind of be enlightened by it and learn more about it. So they start off the episode with JBL talking about how he idolizes Stan Hansen, how he used to play middle linebacker, at West Texas State, along with a whole bunch of other wrestlers, from Dusty Rhodes to Ted DiBiase, Tito Santana. So a long list of legends come from that university and played football there. And obviously Stan Hansen is known for his lariats, his clotheslines. And what better person to interview him than the master of the clothesline from hell in WWE, JBL. So he shows his admiration for Stan Hansen early on in the episode. But how he talks about how he used to use lariats in football, and that's kind of how it translated to his in-ring style inside the ring. He went to West Texas State to play pro football. That's exactly what he did. A lot of talk about Bruiser Brody, his friendship with Bruiser Brody, getting to know him. Talks about Johnny Unitas being his favorite football player. A lot of stuff about being football related. And a lot of people come out of football: Roman Reigns, Goldberg, Stan Hansen, as he said, Ted DiBiase, Tito Santana, Dusty Rhodes, a lot of people along those lines. And obviously it seems like one of the bigger moments coming out of these episodes, from Jimmy Hart talking about whether Hulk Hogan is a racist. My phone just went off, I apologize. Or a few different things, and, like sound bites coming from these different episodes that they play on the previews for the shows. And from this one, he was talking about how Bruno Sammartino had broken his neck, or rather, he broke Bruno Sammartino's neck when they wrestled many years earlier at Chase Stadium. They had the big rematch, and it drew all this money, and it was huge. So they talk a lot about that, the relationship that him and Bruno have to this day. He talks about being put with Bruiser Brody in a tag team, how they worked, a great tag team, working with Sammartino during his second title run as WWE Champion, working over in Japan, stories about Andre the Giant helping him get over, holding the AWA title hostage, which was a great story, talking about his brutal, notorious match with Vader, who inducted him in the Hall of Fame last year over WrestleMania 32 weekend in Texas, discusses his own legacy, Hall of Fame induction. And then the whole No Bull segment that JBL hosts at the end, he says, who are the greatest wrestlers of all time, pro wrestlers of all time? And he says Terry Funk and Bruno Sammartino are the two that come to mind. He said there's a long list of them, but those are the two that come to mind. So that was a pretty interesting answer too. So again, this is a condensed version, a condensed recap. Because there's not a lot to recap here. A lot of it is pretty cut and dry, but if you were a big fan of Stan Hansen's or the old school wrestling days and stuff like that, or if you just want to learn about the old school wrestling, this episode is definitely for you. Watching the WWE Network, Legends with JBL with Stan Hansen from February 7th, 2017. And the final episode airs tomorrow on the network, I believe. They have yet to show a preview for it, but from what JBL said on his Twitter, and no, I have not yet been blocked by him, but he said the final episode airs tomorrow on Valentine's Day. JBL sits down with WWE Hall of Famer Jimmy Hart, so that should be good, so check it out. But in the meantime, and in between time, folks, as always, check out all the other past episodes of WWE Network and Chill right here on the channel by liking the video, sharing it, leaving a comment, and just subscribing to the channel for future videos and daily updates from WrestleRant, #AskGSM, WrestleRant radio excerpts, interviews, miscellaneous videos, WWE Network and Chill, so on and so forth. So anyway, guys, have a great week. I'll catch you guys down the road.